Okay, so for our next video we're going to look at making this boat. So it's got some complexity to it, we've got some curved edges, but it basically builds on previous tools you've looked at and takes it one step further. So again, I'll just come out of this, I'll start a new document up, go for new, don't need to save it. If you're opening this from scratch, obviously open it in a millimeters size document. So first thing I'm going to do, get rid of this person again. From there, I'm going to need to draw myself a square. So, what I need to do, on the previous video we looked at just force incisors for circles. What we're going to do on this one is we're going to look at force incisors for a square. So down in the bottom corner at the moment you'll see the sizes moving around. I'm going to force them, I'm going to put 50, so one side will be 50, comma 120, so that's going to make a shape that is 50 millimeters by 120 millimeters. From there again, I can just use my enlarge tool. I can then pan around and I can get to a position where, using the different tools, I've got that shape more or less in the middle. From there, I'm going to use my line tool. I'm going to come to the corner point there, track it across to the middle until I hit the midpoint, and then I'm just going to follow this out. You'll be able to see a little green line appearing as a trail of dots. And I'm going to click out there. So that's ensured that that line is level with the midpoint. From there, you just click across to here and we'll get a solid shape. From there, using the arrow tool, I'm just going to delete the front of that rectangle, and that's going to create as a solid boundary. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use push-pull tool. So push-pull, click on the top surface, and we're going to take this up, and again you'll see the distances changing at the bottom there. We're going to create this shape to be 50 high. So there we go, so that's the basic frame of our boat. And then we're going to look at some new tools in a minute. So if you just rotate around to the back, I'll just zoom out slightly. This to a position where we can see a little bit better. So, over on the sidebar, you'll see this little tape measure tool here. I'm going to select the tape measure tool. From there, I'm going to click in this bottom corner. I'm just going to track up this line. You can see the little red square moving. I'm going to force that size to be 20. Hit enter, and that will put us a little mark on the side there that I can attach to later on. Again, I'm going to come down to the bottom corner here, click, I'm going to track the bottom line along there, I'm going to force that to 20. Hit enter, and that gives us our second point. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a curve on that surface between those 2 points. So for that we're going to want the 2-point arc tool. Click on our first guideline, click on our second guideline, and then I'm just going to come towards this corner here. Now I'm not going to do the circle that size. You can see in the bottom corner that the bulge is currently 14. I want that to be 5, so again I'm going to just press 5 and hit enter, and that will force the shape. So we've got ourselves a curve there, and we're going to now project that around the boat. So what I need to do, I need to get myself into a position where I can see all of the lines I'm going to be following. And then I'm going to use follow me tool. Click up here and then just follow down the side, follow this edge round all the way down the front, taking care not to leave the line. Again, as said on the last video, if you do manage to leave the line accidentally, just stop the operation, press escape and try again. So that's done. So that's the first curve popped on there. The other thing I can do at this stage is I can remove these guidelines as well. It just makes it a little bit of a tidier drawing later on. So I'll get rid of those two for now. And I'm going to rotate up onto the top surface because we're going to put another curve around here and project that around the back of the boat. So again, I'm going to use tape measure tool, click on the corner, I'm going to track up the side here. This time we're only going back 15. Again, we're going to come across here, 15, and we're going to use the 2-point curve tool. Once there, come to the corner, and we're going to force it to 5 again. So that'll give us an arc. From there, follow my tool again, just move this round, just so we can see the back a little bit easier. So just going to follow that round, tracking the shape. It will catch up, it's getting a little bit laggy at the moment with it being online. Up to the corner. And there we go, so that's the second shape done. On the back, and again, I can just remove those two lines, get them out of the way with the rubber tool. So those are the guidelines gone. Now, the tape measure tool is one of the most useful things in this program, I find. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start subdividing up the boat. So tape measure tool, I'm just going to come from the back of the boat on there. I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to, rather than go to the midpoint there, I'm just going to wait for it to turn red. I'm going to click once and then move to the side. And you'll notice that it's a green line that's following it across, and the green line is also the line that can be seen down here at the bottom, so we ensure we're going at right angle. If I went down here, you'll see it turns blue, and obviously a reference point is a blue line there. So we're going to come down here, 15. Again, I can force it if I want to, and we're just going to click across from the endpoints there. In fact, just press escape because I'm not happy with that. All I'm going to do is click down here on that flat edge and just take it down and click on the endpoint. That way I'm always working off a reference. Again, I'll wait till it turns red on the sideline. Click, and this time I'm going to force this. It's going across red, as you'll see. Red down here is that axis as well. So the line's red there. I'm going to force that to 10 and come off that back line there. In fact, I will come off the back line, just make it more consistent for you guys watching. So 10. So I've created a shape in there, and this is going to form the basis for our top layer. So square tool, draw a square on there. Now I can actually extrude that. With the guidelines basically are unseen when we're doing extrusions, so it won't attempt to extrude anything that we do with those. From there, we're going to go 25. So again, I'll just force the size, writing in 25, press enter, and I can actually at this point tidy up my drawing a little bit because I no longer need those guidelines, so this should help avoid confusing it. If you are deleting guidelines, delete them way out at the side off the shape, and it'll just mean there's less chance of accidentally catching something else. From there, tape measure tool, I'm going to click the side line there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down here to find the midpoint, so that will find the middle of the top where the chimneys are going. Then I'm going to go from that top side line there, and I'm going to set this back 25. Again, I can click on that line there, when it turns red, come down here 25 again, and click on there, come down here 25 again, and that's going to give me my centres for my circles. So, circle tool on the top, and these are going to be 5 radius. So at the moment it's saying 15 down there, so 5 radius for that. Find the centre again, 5 radius. Find the centre again, 5 radius, and these are going to then be 20 high. So click on top of them, type 20 in, click on top of it, type 20 in, click on top, 20 again. So you can see we've got the basic shape that we're looking for there. There's something else we can do because we're going to put some windows on the sides here. So while we've got these guidelines in place here for the dividers, what we can also do is using the tape measure tool. I click on this edge here, I can then track a line across, and where it intersects on that edge I can put a guideline in. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at where that line there hits the corner and referencing it. So that's given us our 3 points for that. If you want to then at this stage delete some of your guidelines again just to tidy up the drawing, you can do, or you can leave them to the end. And the last guideline I'm going to put on before I put the windows in is I'm going to click a line off there, and again I'm going to reference it to the midpoint on here. So there's the midpoint, and that will give us the centres for the windows at the side. So the windows again are just going to be 5. It's fairly standard on this particular drawing what the sizes are because it's a skills video. It's 5 again. If I want to at this stage I can get rid of the reference points. Just tidy it up. And then we can just extrude. So I'm going to force this. I know this is 30. So I just move to that side, 30. Move to that side, 30. And that will put us the shape all the way through. And then finally, the last thing we're going to do is we're just going to take a little arc across here just to neaten it up because we don't want a square ship at the front. So I'll use pencil tool. I'm going to go from the midpoint, and if I track it up it'll snap onto that top edge. It doesn't really matter where you're going on the top edge. If I go to there, that's 45 degrees where the lines try to automatically snap to and turn blue. And then we just do the extrude tool and just move it across. I can type in 30 or I can just move until we get the pattern at the side of it, and that is how to do a 3D boat within the program.